tyre supplier with branches across the region. Tyre Spot don't just do tyres, they cover everything from servicing to wheel alignment. They can handle every aspect of your car's maintenance. For more information, visit tirespot.co.uk. Enjoy the episode.
Good evening, everyone. It is the Always Smiling Faces podcast, live on YouTube on the GallowgateShots network, and of course available on all good podcast subscription services.
That was unorthodox.
Didn't know where he was going to go.
No, I didn't know. Normally the Gallowgate-Shots YouTube channel, even I know that.
We've got a network now.
Just like the
network.
just keep you on your toes. You never know what's going to come.
Or yourself on your toes.
We're keeping everybody on the toes tonight because the eagle-eyed amongst you will notice and hear that it's me in the hot seat. I'm hosting. Yet we are still joined with Messrs. Bestie, Wallace, and Perry.
They're all hot seats tonight. It's roasting here.
It is
really warm, isn't it?
Unfortunately, Chris is unable to host tonight because he had a terrible incident at the weekend with a donkey on Blackpool Beach.
That was quite funny, actually, yeah.
He's been left with his vocal cords have been very damaged. So how were the donkeys, Chris?
Big.
That's
I
what
actually
she
didn't
said.
see any donkeys, you know.
You're
I don't
joking?
think Blackpool have donkeys anymore.
Hold on a minute, we need an investigation in this.
Yeah, I don't think they have donkeys.
Gary Taylor Fletcher.
They'll range off for a while. Yeah, they don't have them. Got plenty of horses. No donkeys, mate.
And punch
Well, they're not just small horses.
No.
A donkey is just a small, it's like a horse, but not just a shit horse, isn't it?
Or
basically.
a big
A shit
Shetland
horse.
pony.
I'm sure they're just crap horses, donkeys, isn't it? That's a thing.
What's it? What's the American one? An ass. Is that like a cross between a horse and a donkey?
No, that's just a donkey.
Is that not a mule?
A mule. Could
Was
be a
that not
mule.
just a
couldn't it?
donkey?
I think it's all the same thing, more or less,
Yeah.
isn't it?
No, I'm sure a mule's a hot like a
A mule, no mule, lad.
mixed a horse and a
What's this about?
horse and a
A
donkey.
horse? What are you doing with horses?
A horse and an ass.
Feeding the pony.
Oh, God.
Right, there's an image. Move
Yeah,
on.
we'll go.
Yeah, quite the start of today's
Are you sure you
podcast.
don't fancy it, Chris?
You can tell there's been no football on because we didn't know what to do.
Bestie's back.
To be front.
Yeah. How was your holiday?
Lovely, thank you. I had a great time. Was that? I missed 2 weeks, didn't I?
You did.
I had a great time. I swam all the time, basically.
To where?
Well, that was yesterday, actually, as well. I swam to the shops this afternoon.
Just went down Time Dock.
Aye. Aye. How we doing, Mark? Anyway, you all right?
I'm good, thanks.
Great.
I've missed you.
Oh,
I haven't really.
no.
Decker,
Yes, mate.
just one of the fixtures, aren't you? You're always here. Like broadband, always on.
I try my best to be here all the time. Yeah, it's not always easy. I've had a bit of a tough week, but I'm here. Well, it's only Monday, but I mean, last week was tough.
Yes.
So, yeah.
For anybody that doesn't know, Decker was on his deathbed for a week, but he's miraculously made a recovery to join us.
I'm here.
Chris could have joined you after that donkey incident.
I forgot you had COVID.
I was honestly, it was absolutely horrendous this time. Like, third time I've had it, and this was by far the worst. I was dying.
Did you get a match ball?
You get it.
Let us know in the comments if COVID still exists. Still have a lot of debate about
Oh,
that.
Oh,
isn't
not you, Matt Letizia, if you're watching.
This year when you need him.
Oh, that Scottish bloke.
It's awful.
Alex McLeish.
No, the one that did the Coast program. He's on GB News now. He's always just like lying about stuff. Long haired fella. Neil something or other.
Sadaka.
He's not Scottish, is he?
I don't know. Probably not.
God, this is brutal. This like
Yeah.
Anyway,
This is
let's get on
terrible.
to some football.
Sorry, everybody.
This has been the issue, hasn't it? Because it's been international week, so we've
And
had
it
no
was-
Newcastle to keep you entertained.
And it was a poor international game by our loss, wasn't it? Really, wasn't it? Good
I didn't really watch it.
That was
what I saw a bit of the second half, and what I saw of that, it just felt like Ukraine kind of did what Liverpool did at Newcastle, where they defended well enough. Then I didn't catch them on the break quite as successfully as Liverpool did, like, but without any ever really having to kind of stretch themselves, just dealt with what we had.
it's mad. Before the game, I seen the lineup, and I texted one of my mates, and I was like, hey, it's like, what a team we've got. I mean, other than the two centre halves, can I add? No offense to the Palace.
Who was it? Was it Gay and Maguire?
Yeah. I mean, how was he getting the game? I just don't understand. But the rest of the team, maybe Henderson and I should throw him out. But I thought this is a hell of a side. Like,
Did any of our lads get a run out?
No.
No.
Not for England.
Isaac scored for Sweden.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And someone else. Oh, Minty scored.
Minty.
Scored, yeah.
2-2 draw.
Isaac scored.
It was a little bit like
Minty scored as well.
It was a little bit like Newcastle, where that we really struggled to bring an opposition down that just sit in and go, right, come on. And we really struggled. Had all the ball and just couldn't do nothing with it.
Well, actually, I know I'm not hosting this one, but just because you're talking about international football, we've got a Newcastle talking point as well. Elliot Anderson.
I was just getting there.
Oh, sorry, mate.
Oh,
So I'm the host tonight, remember?
Sorry.
Why are you necking Chris, will you?
So Elliot Anderson. Yeah, he got called up by Scotland, Chris.
He did, but then he declared himself unable. Well, shall I just say not fit?
Did he?
Yeah.
He declared
so
himself English.
Yeah, basically, he has declared himself English, apparently. So he pulled out the Scotland squad, and the rumours are because England are sniffing on the doorstep. And I think there's actual quotes from Gareth Southgate, unless I've just been absolutely tricked into believing these things I've read on Twitter.
I'm sure I read a headline that implied that Harvey Barnes could be playing for Scotland.
Yeah.
Is that right? I don't know if I kind of misunderstood or is that?
Yeah, he's been asked whether he would, again, pretty much like Anderson, switch allegiances, and because Steve Clark is a big fan.
So is that?
Wee.
well, it's an interesting one for Anderson because I think he probably would play for Scotland. Yeah, he probably would actually.
I think Barnes would as well.
Barnes,
They would both certainly get a run out for them.
Maybe Anderson's thinking, do I want to have me midweek time off ruined playing for them? I probably wouldn't mind playing for England. That's maybe what he's thinking.
Yeah, he's probably got the ambition. I've
got no against Scotland, by the way.
Yeah.
My father-in-law's Scotland.
Well, they are very close to qualifying.
Yeah, they got a really good. Was it Cyprus that beat the weekend?
One Cyprus.
Some raffle that.
The whole island. Well, just the south of it. Not allowed the north.
Just a free
Turkish.
We play them tomorrow, don't we? Am I wrong there?
Tomorrow night,
yeah.
Just friendly though.
Oh yeah, just a friendly. Yeah. Probably would have gotten the game, Anderson, as well if he had a.
Maybe, aye.
I mean, he kind of get a game for us at the minute. He kind of start for us, so he didn't start for England for a while.
But then you think,
and I like him as well.
Well, Harry Maguire's a case in point there. Calvin Phillips keeps on called up.
Yeah.
These are players. I think Maguire's a good player. I think Calvin Phillips is a good player, but I'm not playing football. It kind of now that we're apparently an England podcast, it kind of makes a bit of a mockery of what Southgate had said when he started. And I like Southgate when he said that he was going to pick players on form. When like you've got Henderson, I don't think Henderson should really be.
No. Did he actually go away?
Henderson started.
You're winding me up.
Yeah, started. Game, yeah.
I don't think he should be, and not because he's gone to Saudi. I think it's got the point in his career now where if he's starting at the Euros next year, then it speaks to a bit of a lack of quality in England in centre midfield, which we clearly haven't got. We've got
mentally played three in midfield. You've got Maddison, who's been absolutely incredible for Spurs, playing the right of a three or like slightly ahead of their defensive midfielder. Basuma was class. He played him left wing. Played him where Grealish plays. He was just out of the game. He's just, you know what I mean?
Foden wasn't anywhere near. He was probably the most informed player at the minute.
Absolutely mental.
He played
Henderson over Maddison, in my opinion, from that position. And Henderson was he's just that water carrier. You know, he's not really going to unlock a defence for you.
I was saying the idea, you might as well pick James Milner's probably a better player. And he's still playing in the Premier League where he's got that kind of the better standard of competition. Such, I know that you've got so many superstars out in Saudi now. But for the most part, the Premier League, you're going to be playing against a better depth of play. You know, you're going to be playing against 11, 15 players or something, whatever. Good players.
He came on our 10 minutes against us last week.
Who?
Milner.
He's still a good player. I like Milner.
I had Almiron with a really late challenge, didn't he?
I didn't see. I was on holiday. I caught like 20 minutes at the start of the second half, watched them get a third, and I thought.
I was actually really excited. I was in bed all day, but I was excited for the game. I said, Mint, put it on. I was like, trying my best to get in the mood and that. And it soon went a bit flat. Like,
is that what gets you in the mood, like watching England?
Well, just some football on the telly. Because, the one time I'm ill, I thought, Mint, I'll be able to sit and watch the 12:30 game, or the Saturday, the 5:30 game, for international break. Worst time ever get caught with that. Because I could have just, I lined wait till 5 o'clock to watch us struggle against Ukraine.
Mine, international football, I'm still fairly convinced is what cured me of COVID when I first had it. It was that I was good for, so it was Easter 2020, so it was right at the start, the front end of COVID. I started to feel bad in this. I was watching Starship Troopers. I started to feel, I've got a fever a bit here and all that. Like, I was sleeping downstairs in the floor because Amy had COVID. She tested positive on the Friday.
Why were you on the floor?
Because, I was kind of isolating a little bit from Amy.
You got a sofa?
Not be big enough.
We did that, but it wasn't long enough.
It needs to be a
No
big sofa,
chance,
doesn't it?
Ironically, yes, I did sleep on the sofa on Friday, Saturday night, but that's not a story.
I want to hear this story. Don't mind your COVID story.
Oh, no,
I wanna
I'll
hear
do the
story.
COVID one first, then I'll do this next one.
Are you in the doghouse?
No, far from it.
Oh, right, okay.
Um,
Is she in the doghouse?
She was on it with you.
She was on Saturday night. So it was, and I've been bad for a week, going on from the 2020 down, and all that, doing a bit where my dad and Joanne would drop the shopping off at the front door, and then we kind of talk to the front window, and then go and pick myself up. And the son, I was holding Alfie. Alfie was a baby at the time. He was only 7 or 8 months old. And I stood at the window talking to my dad, and I could feel myself doing that, getting quieter and louder, obviously. And I said, I'm going to go for an hour. I went upstairs to bed, and I watched the official film of the 1994 World Cup. Fixed. Came downstairs right as rain, no more COVID. So that's...
So technically, was it not just having a little snooze?
No, I didn't have a snooze. I didn't sleep. I'd watched the official film of the 1994.
And
This is what Big Pharma won't tell you. Letitia is right.
If you want to cure COVID, just watch documentaries.
But Saturday night, I slept on the sofa because Amy was poorly.
Okay.
Off the drink.
Oh, right. So she got the bed.
It
was her self-inflicted.
Because she didn't just get the bed. She
Why are you in the bed?
Aye.
Oh,
I've still got the quilt.
Shut the bed.
I've still got the quilt in the car. You'll see it when you go downstairs. The
Cleaned?
duvet. No, I'll take the laundry. The duvet cover. It's only a little bit like it needs washing, but it's not like covered in horribleness. But it couldn't do with it. I went to take the laundry yesterday. It was Great North Sunday. I got stuck in traffic, so I'm going home.
You should just put it in the bin with the rabbit.
Surely you can wash your cover in your own washing machine.
This isn't the cover. This is the duvet. This is the.
You could have had it outside the rain, man. Yes, that's
I could have done. That's why I slept on the sofa. It was actually a very sofa. A bit of a chaise long.
I think you can really tell that there's been no football.
Yeah. How about let's try and get
Tales-
started.
We're playing this weekend though.
Tales of besties life.
Marital
It's
bliss.
keeping them going, isn't it? Yes, but thankfully we have got a game to look forward to this weekend. Real football's back after another international that we'll have this week, but we'll not worry about that. So yes, we are struggling for talking points tonight. So do get us some questions in on the comments. I think the one thing that has happened, big news today, is that he's showing photos of it. The club have announced, and we've also had some secret meetings happening today. I don't know if you were invited.
Have you been?
Were you there again?
Have
Were you?
Have you actually been in that secret meeting?
Couldn't actually.
Have you
I
actually?
can't actually say.
Is that why you've got a new shirt on?
That's all.
You in the
been
club
there,
shop
yeah?
when you wear it?
Have you been to the secret
He
meeting?
has, hasn't he?
What's this?
He's been.
Did you pinch the camera for the secret meeting?
No, undercover. I had like under
The size of that. Trying to...
So the club have announced and have had a public consultation around the new events site that they want to build, which will be in partnership with Seller and Stack, located on the car park of St James's Metro. And most people will have seen there's been a news article out on NUFC.co.uk with imagery and AI and stuff like that, making it look good. And what do we think? Seen it? Well, I don't know if you've seen it.
Honestly, I think it looks great. Great, fantastic. It's in a great place. I can imagine, like Shira's not being particularly happy, if you imagine, because obviously it might take some footfall away, but it kind of please everyone. But no, I think it looks mint. Absolutely mint. The pictures look great if it looks like that, which it will.
Very much like the box park that we visited in.
Do you know what it looks like? It
Yeah, it's
looks
like that.
very much like the Stack in Seaburn. It's laid out
yeah.
very similar to that one compared to the old Stack that was in town.
Yeah.
It looks more, well, I know we've seen photos and that's it really, but it looks the more aiming towards the family aspect of it as well. Whereas Seaburn Stack does exactly that, whereas the one in town really didn't. I just hope that
You wouldn't take your bins,
Nah,
would you?
nah.
I mean,
The
Unless you want to
photos
get one coat, like.
yeah.
Well, the photos look mint, right? I just hope it doesn't go down the route as all Stack because you got some bell ends in there at times.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, you will get Bellins in
Like,
this
I
one.
like the place. I really did like the Stack.
I did.
It's just it got to a certain point, then you are just shoulder to shoulder with absolute.
I think it's
I'll
going to
not say
be
what I was
dependent on the time, isn't it? It's going to be time of night, the night of the week, and stuff like that. Obviously, match day it's going to be very different. Like you say, it's going to be aimed at the families and the supporters. So I think, Bestie, from that respect, you're going to get a lot on an actual match day. You get more of the people that are visiting Shiraz and previously before that the terrace.
Yeah, I mean, are they going to have some sort of like club shop provision there as well? It seems to, given that the club are running it, it seems it would make sense to me. I mean, it might make Shiraz quieter, but it's still money going into the same place, the same pot.
Yeah.
So that's not the thing. So I don't know why. It feels to me because the club shop, I think I've been once on a match day in the last 20 years. It's murder, absolutely chock-a-block. So it makes sense to me have a little pop-up shop there. get a few shirts, get your training gear in there and that.
They should sell in there programs.
Yep.
Where you can use your card to pay for a program.
Yeah, that's true. Right.
Or
What I would love is during the week when there's no game on out, you could go in there with your kids and they've just got reruns of like 93, 94 season, 96, 97 season, 2000, 2001 season. Like, I don't know, just like playing all the time.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, Baines would love it. But do you know what I mean, though? We meant to take the Baines and go, that's Shearer, that's him. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
they did it.
On, bit of atmosphere on that.
I remember going down to Blackburn in the Championship, and they had like a fan zone of sorts. It wasn't like, but this is going to be, it was kind of enough, like, but for outdoor bars, you could get a bit sandwich and that, and they had big screens on with all Blackburn v Newcastle, and it was pretty well done for what it was.
They'll probably have Sky Sports News playing all day. That's what they'll probably have. But
I'm
just saying that's what
I know what you mean, though. Like,
I think it would be mint if you went in on a random day and they just had the full season review of a year.
Thing is, it's only going to be a temporary thing, isn't it? It's only going to run up until such a time as to work out whether or not they can extend the stadium, extend the Gallowgate over that way. I mean, I don't think it'll go quite as far as where the Stack's going to be, because that's quite a distance from over Strawberry Place. And you're going back a long way there.
I think they'd keep some sort of provision like that built into whatever does happen if we do get the permission.
Yeah, maybe.
I think 100%. This is just a trial, isn't it? In a sense, it's like we'll put this together and we'll see what the sort of the take is on it. 100%, it's going to be a success.
It's going to be busy all the time.
It's going to be amazing.
It will be for match day. It'll be chocolate.
They'll make if they do develop the stadium, they'll then make even better one probably. So.
Do you know what would be good? And I've mentioned this before because I'm all for the club reaching out to the likes of Newcastle fans that actually offer something in regards to whether that be like designs or photography and things like that. We'll see if they had a store which was just designated to that. So, like Bessie said, like a pop-up shop that's just showcasing what fans can do as well.
Yeah,
because there's so much decent stuff that fans put out, then the club shut down straight away because of copyright reasons and things like that. Yeah. Then you go into the club shop and on the website, and some of the absolute tack that they're selling at the minute is horrendous compared to what you can get elsewhere. So that's a no-brainer for me. Just a little shop in there that just rotates each match day. They can have a different seller in there, free of charge, making money on it.
Well, that was one of the big things with the original Stack, wasn't it? Is you had independent retailers.
You'll probably still have that
street food, didn't you? That kind of character. But even now, looking at what we've got on the units there, like we've got the Magpin postcards. I haven't got the. Obviously, they've had to not bother with it. I know Hollyoak's done some stuff. There's the thing that Sheffield United fan made of all the old legends and stuff in front of and there's loads of stuff there that could. It's unofficial. It's not got the branding on stuff like it.
There's a lovely Gucci headband over there.
I'm not spied. It's gone now. Like
it's a shout, though, isn't it? Like
it's a really good eye.
There's so many talented fans out there that can do and create amazing things, which it just isn't promoted enough by the club.
Yeah, but I mean, Cellar. That's what the kind of is their history, is what they do as events and all of that kind of thing. So you'd hope that they're going to be able to put something to make it look bit of a wow. Live up to what Stack was like with the live music, the changing stores in there with food and stuff like that. The different
Taylor's going to be all out with that, and he's probably sent emails off already, hasn't he?
Well, if his kid's recovered, like his kid got knocked yesterday in the Great North Run.
What did?
It did, yeah.
You got flooded. He was playing live yesterday at the Sundial, and his arms all got rained on and that. Like obviously because of how bad the rain was, he says he's basically put it in big pots of rice. Not literally, like, just trying to. So hopefully it gets fixed, like because
it's not good.
It's a nightmare. It's an expensive gig, that like.
But yeah, I don't mean there's any offense to anybody. I don't. I don't want to go in there with my kids on a Tuesday afternoon and have someone giving a 10 out on acoustic, and I play the guitar. I don't want that. That's what I don't want. But it might be that.
I'm the same. I would live without any live music being there. To be honest with you, like, live music for me isn't a match day thing. Unless I'm going to see a band afterwards, I'm not.
Yeah, I just feel like every single bar I seem to go in now seems to throw that down my throat a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas, can I just go in and just?
I'm the same. And I was in bands for a long time. I think I was going for a pint.
Yeah.
If I want to go and see a band, I'll go somewhere to see a band.
I could probably see it afterwards, mind, after a match day later on in the night. I can see that happening.
I'm on the total opposite side. I love a bit of live music.
No, I do. I love it as well. I go see bands all the time. But if on a match day, it's just not part of the.
I think afterwards, I could agree with that one. If you've lost, maybe not. But
I think Friday, without a doubt, a Friday or Saturday night, you're definitely going to have.
I'm literally talking Tuesday afternoon, want to cross it. I didn't want to see someone back in the way. Like.
If you think it's not going to be. Realistically, it's not going to be that busy on a Tuesday afternoon.
Would it even be open? It's not so much it's going to open.
Well, the idea is it's going to be open 7 days a week with and have because the Stack was.
Yeah, they had.
I know, obviously, it was much. It was more in the centre, but you had had sushi places there, bao buns.
Yeah,
I know. That kind of stuff.
I think what's going to be, it's basically going to be what stack already was, but just with a couple of Newcastle flags on it.
Yeah.
I think so.
All right, see, I thought it was just going to be a match day thing.
Nah, I think it's,
Nah.
it's
All
constantly open, yeah.
Which is mint, which is
Yeah.
great. And I honestly, when I seen it today, I thought about taking my kids in, taking them for dinner and that for a change. You know, it's next to the stadium. We can pop across there if they want to go, type of thing. And,
If they want to go.
well, I'll be going. I'll be going to the club shop.
Oh, Dad, not the club shop
Not the
again.
club shop
Kids, you
again.
say I'm going to shop.
Even Layla said it's not very good in here, is it? Even she knows it. It's crap, man.
She's just sick of
5
it.
times in a week.
But I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be good.
Did they
Get
say when it would be opening? I heard someone say November a long
Later
time
this
ago.
year, yeah. It's meant to be back end of this year, so
Well, a couple of months in maybe, I.
Has it got a roof on it?
how hard is it to chuck a few
I don't
containers
think
in
so.
there? Yeah,
No.
plan is to have it partially
Yeah.
covered. Like in the
Partially similar to last stack where
But
you
it just
used to
had
get
that
pissed
had a
on, like,
big, like
yeah, the canopy
scale
on
kind
half
of
of
thing,
it.
didn't it?
The
Canopy thing.
pictures-
You're in big trouble. I'm not big on there. You're in big trouble.
The pictures look as if it was covered. Like, I hope that's strictly on after the game on it. Like, if it's later this year.
I don't. You don't want like a band on or somebody playing a bit of music, but you're all strictly come dancing after the match.
That's right.
Something wrong with you, lad.
It's not. I just appreciate
That'll
the
be damn
dance.
cold on November and that. Huh?
They'll have the heaters on.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I like to be warm, you know.
So there's an interesting one from Mike there. So it goes a little bit in line with what you were saying there, Decker, is he's just a little bit conscious he doesn't want to go down the Liverpool Jamie Webster route.
I was thinking exactly the same, yeah.
It does feel a little bit contrived when they have, you know, somebody on, because they had that one with the Salah song and stuff like that, in a way.
So I think Decker's
Some
point
were playing and stuff.
is a valid one because do you know what it is? I think if you have that sort of live music, which is just going to basically revert in the Newcastle chant, you're probably going to get the Wonderbar lot shift over and make it similar to that, which I sound really old
You
here.
used to be one of those Wonderbar lots.
I know, but do you not feel as if all of a sudden Wonderbar just went that bit too far?
I remember I lasted 8 minutes in there.
You did,
I remember I went upstairs.
As
and
long as you
I
lasted.
literally, right, true. I remember I went upstairs and I went to meet, I think it was you. No, I don't know if you were there, but I
I
definitely,
was there.
Would have been.
I definitely went to meet him anyway.
Yeah.
Went upstairs, eventually found him, looked round and went,
Nah.
I seen a bit, mate. And just walked.
I've never been in
It was
there.
a nightmare to get served like
Horrendous.
after the game.
Was that in the gate?
Yeah.
Used to
Yeah.
be Beyond.
Yes.
Aye.
That same place. That's what I hate.
It used to
Beyond
be
me,
mint,
like.
you know. Honestly, it used to be mint
was
when
really
they
good.
first done it. Then it just got more and more popular. Then it, to the point now where it is absolutely rammed, and it takes you about 40 minutes to get a drink. And like I said,
The problem is, though,
miserable. Yeah.
every
I know, there's probably loads of people watching it now, like go there and dance on the
every
tables.
single pub's getting that way though. It, like on a match day, it doesn't matter where we go before the game. It's a nightmare to get served. It's heaving everywhere.
I was finding
I think it's becoming more of an event of people going out just to be out before the game and stuff like that.
I
Getting
normally
that
go
hustle
to
around
the
town.
I normally go to the tap, and I'm finding the opposite. This last couple of, I say this year, I've only been to one home game this season, but I'm finding then last season as well. It seems to be a bit more. Like there's that many more bars in the city now, or there's that many bars in the city. People go before the game. The tap's steady. I went and after Liverpool
Where's
game,
the tap? Central.
next to Head of Steam.
I think it depends on what you're going for, isn't it? Because personally, for me, right, I just go to have a chat with the lads that I'm with.
Yeah,
Like, I don't have to go somewhere and have 2,000 people shouting and bowling.
I'm like,
Like,
that, like,
I'm
yeah.
not interested in what you really are singing. I'm just here to sing me 7 or 8 mates. Now that sounds horrendous. But
Trying to make yourself sound
Right,
popular,
just
right?
Seven or eight mates.
Seven or eight
Aye,
mates.
maybe
You've
one
got
of my
one.
mates. One of my mates anyway. And that's what I go for. Where he's going for a pint, and we'll have a bit of crack about whatever's happening. But when you go in the likes of there, A, I can't get served. B, I kind of hear myself think that's just not.
Yeah.
I'm not out
And
for
you get a
that.
plastic glass.
I need to get a plastic glass. I'm not out for that. You know. That makes it. Listen, I am nearly 40-year-old, right? So because of break.
We've been in Junction a couple of times this season, Mark, and it's been absolutely chocker in there.
Big room as well. There.
It's upstairs
Too
and
close.
downstairs. There's
Oh, is that
plenty
the
of
one at
space.
Haymarket?
At the
Yeah,
Haymarket.
yeah.
Horrific.
Used to be
Aye.
Old
Oh,
Orleans.
it's a nightmare to get served.
Horrendous. Aye, horrendous. I'd rather stay in the house.
I used to love it when it was Old Orleans. Me like.
Do you know
How
what I
many
hear
years
about?
ago
Three
now?
Bulls is the same. Percy's the same.
Do you know what I hear about Junction?
Loco.
That's
is-
so close to the ground.
Downstairs, fine. It's rammed, but it's fine. You can just walk to the bar and you get served when you get served. Upstairs, for some reason, people start forming a queue.
It's because it's a small bar in the corner.
Nah,
isn't
but
it?
anybody that starts, I hate that one person that starts the queue.
Yeah. I know what you
Like,
mean.
why do you do that in a bar?
No, no, I get that. Yeah, you're saying.
Wait, what else can I rant about at night?
Next one.
Well, we've got a couple of
We need to try and make
questions.
it possible, don't we? So-
Quality Gunner Tavern as well. Formerly
Gunner
Gotham.
Tavern's decent.
Expensive though, isn't it?
Keeps the riffraff out.
We do not tend to get.
I went to that lovely
a lot
place
of
with Dane.
the,
That Coppers Club. It was lovely.
Right.
Excuse me.
We need to know about what
It
this
was,
Coppers
it was
Club.
really nice.
So-
Um,
Explain what happened with this. So
I was coming to meet Mark, I think, or you, and then Dane went, I'm a member of this, because he's a police officer. And he said, I'm a member of this club if you want to go for a drink there. And I crack on, I'm not bothered. So do you know where I'm really shit with Newcastle and where places are, right? I'm terrible.
He knows where the club shop is.
But that's it. Do you know where there's a pub, right, where it has like retro games and shit in? It's mint, actually. Like downstairs,
yeah,
got, like,
Alvino's.
Aye. So it's upstairs of that place, what you've just said. Alvino's.
Upstairs from Alvino's.
Aye,
Right,
it's
okay.
upstairs. It was lush, absolutely lush, like really nice.
So yeah,
bar.
like coochie and all that.
You can go in anywhere. I think anyone can go in. It's just if you've got a members.
Can you hike from?
It
There's
was.
a water,
Ground, huh?
If you've got a members card, you get cheaper drink type of thing. And we sat right at the front. There was a sofa just like that one. And we just sat and watched the game on the big screen. It was great. No problem at all. And it was a nice atmosphere. Everyone was cracking on. There was loads of Newcastle fans in there, but it wasn't.
So is it more like a social club sort of thing for coppers?
Well, yes, I would say that, but it doesn't look like one. Does that make sense?
But it's opposite the old
no balls on the
station,
window.
basically, isn't it?
Yeah,
There's no balls. There's no balls. Yeah. But no, it was really nice. I loved it, mate. Like,
I quite like Castro's as well.
and the Guinness was. Oh.
The Bacchus is a good booze
Yeah,
on the corner from there. I like the Bacchus.
There's plenty of places like
But again,
there
the
is, though.
Bacchus is a canny distance from the ground, but on a match day, that's always even as well.
that's only 10-minute walk.
Because this was a canny walk to be
Yeah,
fair.
it is
Like,
a canny.
It was.
You're basically on the Time Bridge.
Top of
because
Great
that-
Street and
because
Gantry.
that- yeah, you're
Memorial there.
Because when I finished there, and I says, listen, I want to leave now, get to the Liverpool game. So I want to get to the ground. I got to the ground at 4:05 and absolute hell on to try and get in the ground. So that was just about I went in.
Yeah, I was there like
so
an
I
hour
couldn't
early
in.
for Liverpool. I sat in every programme.
I just went into a different turnstile. My number wasn't even on. I just went in. I thought I'll just get in. And I managed to get in, and I had a hell of a walk like to get where my seat was, but I wasn't waiting in that queue.
Do you know this whole issue with the ticketing system? Is that user error now?
Well, I'm not so sure because I think I showed you a photograph, and I'm not even trying to be funny when I say this. There's about 2,000 in my turnstile queue, right, at 4:10. I'm not even joking, right?
The East Stand was always a nightmare.
Well, I wasn't in the East Stand.
No,
but
but like going up there and then around into the
it was
into
horrendous.
Leazes as well.
And everyone was going, it was like this last week, but it can be user error, like, because even if you get it wrong, you get it right. Like, you cannot take that long. Like,
Well, I think
you
the issue is in again it depends on how proactive the steward is that's on the gate to be telling you, because they've all got one on each entrance now on the outside.
Yeah.
They should be telling you in advance what you need to do. Because if you've got an Android phone, you've got to scan it on one part of the scanner. If you've got an Apple phone, you've got to scan it on another.
It's above,
If
isn't
you've
it?
still got a ticket or a card, you've got to put it in the old slot like you used to.
But
So
this queue
people
was
are
not
going like
moving,
this
though.
on three different things. Like, what am I doing?
But then I was talking to people at the Liverpool game who'd said that it worked for the first game, but not this game. So if it's a
That's what I
technical issue, or
I think it's a technical. It has to be for that many people. I mean, the entire Milburn stand, underneath there, where the players are. I'm talking from where the players are all the way up was just rammed.
Yeah, that 40 that he showed us was
It
honking.
was
Well,
rammed.
I did hear
I'm not
comments
joking.
of that on one turnstile. I can't remember who said it now, but obviously you're supposed to be able to use any phone you like at any of the turnstiles. But for some reason, on the turnstile that they were using, only one side was working for Android and the other side was working for Apple.
Oh, yeah, in trouble.
Yet they weren't telling the people in the queue
yeah,
that was an issue. So you had people that were getting to the front and then they weren't
There was
able
one
to
of
get
our
in,
lot that said
kicking
that.
off. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't remember who it was, but
That's
that,
horrendous. Isn't it?
so again, it comes back to the proactivity of the people that are the stewards on the outside need to be communicating with people that are in the queue waiting to get in.
Well, there's loads of people that at work missed our goal and missed a red card. They still weren't in.
good grief.
I mean, that's horrendous. Like,
Yeah.
Now, as I say, I seen my queue and realised it's 25 past. Yeah, I got no chance. So I just went into a totally wrong number, and it worked. So I got in, and then I went to the steward. I went, "Where am I sitting?" And he went, he went all the way down there. I went, "Right, cheers." I just ran off. But
Well, sticking with the theme of
I'm moaning again. Am I?
Yeah,
Right.
it's a miserable one tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's like the old days.
This is what happens when you have a bad start to the season, isn't it?
Time's ticking. We're already at 8:45. So, but as I say, starting with tickets, John's sent in a message. So this one's that's been getting a lot of people talking recently, and it's around about ballots. So he says, thoughts, lads, on the home match ballots for NUFC members. I've tried for the Brentford game, but it's so close to the date that the train from London and hotels were very expensive. Shouldn't the club be running ballots earlier?
100%, yeah.
Spot on.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Spot on,
I think it should be.
Spot on.
I don't see why they can't run it earlier. I don't see why they can't run it for the rest of the season.
It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, when they announced it, they said that they would be doing it like 3-4 weeks in advance. If you consider when tickets go on sale, ordinarily, through it, it's normally at least a good 3-4 weeks, if not longer,
Yeah.
in some cases in advance of the fixture. They need to be getting this,
Well,
this
the-
right.
Can you remember before the ballot? I'm going to go back years, right? It used to be like 3 or 4 weeks in, didn't it? Where the ticket would go and say, I'm going back like to the Rafa days type of thing. if
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember
Even last
right.
season, like,
Yeah, sure it was.
Yes,
Well, has a Milan ballot happened yet? 'Cause that's next Tuesday.
yes, it happened on Friday.
Right.
Sorry,
It
no,
dropped down
the
to 0
ballots
points.
happened on
Yeah.
Saturday, went down to 0 on Saturday, and then went ballot at like 2-4 o'clock Saturday afternoon.
So it's still only a week before the game.
Yeah.
9 days, whatever.
And I was looking at the prices for it kind of this time last week, when obviously the fixtures were announced and all of that kind of thing. And the prices for Milan then were ridiculous.
It's such
Yeah.
a shame, isn't it? That the likes of season ticket holders like us have just completely priced out by the travel companies. Like, we can get a ticket, of course we can get a ticket. It's getting there. That's the issue now. And it's absolutely ridiculous what they're doing to fans.
Capitalism, that's a problem.
It's horrendous, man.
There's
I
a
can't
complete
understand
lack
how
of
people can
flights as
afford
well.
it.
Can it? Well, I can't afford it. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Ironically, it's someone said, was it in our group? Someone said, oh no, it was me, Kieran. It's cheaper to go to Sheffield Wednesday, ticket wise, than Milan. Sorry, cheaper to go to
the
Milan
other
than
way
Sheffield
around.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
The Milan ticket's cheaper than wanting to go to Hillsborough. But obviously, getting to Milan's, that's a problem, isn't it? You know, the hundreds and hundreds that you're going to spend. I can't afford to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not even looking to go away this year in Europe.
I nearly, to be fair, I was going to go to Milan because I could have gotten a ticket, but then when I heard, I messaged Mark, I think it was Mark I messaged, and obviously there's no chance because you've got to provide
The idea,
you know,
Yeah.
cock length and everything, so I had no chance of being able to get it. So I'm not going to go away while they and get denied, am I?
No.
I've been denied many times in my life.
John's put in there the cost that it would cost him to get from London for the Brentford game. And he's saying it was £120 round trip from London, no return on the same day. So, because of the late kickoff.
Yeah.
So you'd have to get the hotel, which was at least another 150 quid on top. So you're talking the best part of almost 300 quid there to come up for a game.
The way they've done the balance system, it works for those that live local. Of course it does, because you're just around the corner anyway. But likes of John and other people that have got to arrange likes of travel and hotel, it's knackered them. Like, of course it has,
really unfair,
especially if there's a late fixture move as well.
And it always seems to be the case, doesn't it? If it's a long journey, home or away, like we played Brighton away on a Saturday tea time the other week. And like
during the train strike.
I mean, the train, that's kind of that's
Happens every week these
like,
days.
it does, but like it seems that every time we play Brighton, I think last season was an earlier one, but that was the exception. It feels like all the time. It's Everton's always away on a midweek.
Yeah,
I'm sure Eddie Howe's first game, when he was in the stands, was a 5:30 Brighton Saturday.
I think it was Saturday tea time. 1-1 draw.
I think that was also a train strike that day as well. I think every time we play Brighton, there's something happening with transport.
But I think the overriding point is absolutely correct, that the ballot needs to be happening earlier to give people time.
Do you think it's all of a massive trial run though for the season, and they're just basically just going to iron out the?
I think they'll know that it needs to be refined.
Yeah,
they'll be looking to see what people are saying about the away tickets. Is all the carry on with the away tickets as well, which I'm not going to get into because I'll have someone trying to knock us down
third
later
home
on.
game of the season, isn't it?
Third home game, yeah. Villa Liverpool.
So
then
you've still technically it's still very, very early. So
not even
plenty of time to iron out the problems.
Not even a fifth of the way through. Yeah, home games.
I don't see why they can't just do it as like a quarterly thing.
I think it's the issue with games getting moved. Obviously, now we know that the games till November are locked in.
Yeah, but even if the game
Brentford may have been because of the Champions League game, obviously.
Yes,
we'll because it was originally scheduled for Sunday.
But even if the game gets moved, at least he's still giving people a chance to get the ticket. Then, if the game gets moved, they can then pass that on and put it up for resale or whatever you need these days. You can with home games.
Not if you've got it through a ballot as a member. Members can't transfer tickets.
Yeah, but surely you can give it back and it goes to somebody else.
You can sell it back to the club.
Yeah.
Basically get a refund.
But that makes more sense because you still have the opportunity.
But if you booked your travel and your accommodation and all that and the game gets moved, you're losing out there as well.
That's a risk you've got to take, isn't it?
It's been a bugbear of fans, particularly fans who go away for a long time, how late the Premier League never hit their deadlines with announcing away games or televised games, home or away, whatever. And it feels as if that's something that, if that gets sorted out, then the ballot, there'd be no reason for them not to do what you said, Chris, to say, right, there's your games up until, let's say, Christmas, hypothetically. I wouldn't go as far as that yet. And then the club could say, right, here's what home games know, when it's going to be, where it's going to be, what time it's going to be. Ballot. You could do it. But then,
because the ticket numbers are always going to be the same.
Yeah, it's always going to be
change.
the kind of more or less guarantee is going to be a sellout.
All right.
So they can just say, right, well, the tickets that they would have kept aside for ballot anyway, we'll do that beforehand.
Yeah.
And people, my thing with having a ballot now for like May would be someone might not know what the situation is going to be. May someone who works away or something like that, like,
That's
or
true.
you know, stuff happens, life happens, like, you know, and like, I don't know what's happening between now and May, like, but yeah, you could certainly with maybe it's a couple of months notice at least say, well, we'll ballot up until such and such a point, and then
maybe a month's worth of fixtures. That may be 4 home games. Possibly.
like a rolling, so every
Do you know what I mean?
every 4 week, like the
Aye.
1 year rolling contract by Robson. I remember that.
Aye.
Just do that for 4 weeks or ballot. You could do it, and it would solve the problem, like what John said there, like having to do it all last minute and saying, right, I'm going to book a last minute return train for was it 130 quid, 120 quid, something like that, which actually isn't by train prices isn't that terrible. To be honest with you, the trains are terrible at the minute price wise.
I go down London for work, and it normally costs us more than that.
It's telling John to stop.
No, but not him, like, but
like, then obviously stay overnight at a hotel before.
Yeah, it's a huge outlay. Like Mark says, it's a thick end of 300 quid before you've had a bottle of pop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you know, it's
just
too
go out
much,
the pub and watch on the telly, mate.
That's capitalism. It's a problem.
Go to the Copper Club.
Go to the Copper Club. I'll take you there. Aye. Come on, mate.
So, Chris, I'm going to come to you for this one. So, because Bessie's only been to 1 game, so you'll not be able to answer it. But we'll get your opinion anyway. So, Liam would like to know, what are you thinking about the safe standing a couple of games in? He's moved from the Leasers into the corner with us, and he's loving it so far.
I absolutely love it. Do you know what it is? And Bessie, obviously, you sit in that corner as well.
Stand.
Sorry, yeah, you stand in the corner now.
You've always
stood there.
You always did.
But even you'll probably realise that it's encouraged. I know that the corner, the strawberry corner, was always quite loud anyway, but it's even louder this season. I know you've only been to 1 game,
and it was Liverpool. Liverpool's always loud.
Yeah, it's well, we've been I've been to all of them this so far this season, and it has improved massively. In the corner, like really has.
It's nice having the barrier there to put my coat on.
Yeah,
and I thought we all lean on it as well. Normally, I would like lean back and have my foot against the wall. Now we all kind of like coaches almost.
Ask us again when it gets cold.
Oh, those barriers!
We can't cuddle together.
When I'm wearing like 3 pair of socks and that,
those barriers will be freezing in the cold.
I'm enjoying it though.
It's like Dumb and Dumber when he gets his tongue stuck on the skate thing.
You don't have to lick it.
No, but it's nice to do.
Is there a limit?
To what? How many times you can lick the barrier?
No, is there a limit to how many seats we've got there in the corner? So obviously, I know it's a trial run, but can they happily extend that, or has it got to go through like some permission for Premier League or whoever it may be?
You can't put any more seats in that corner because you can't increase the capacity.
No, I mean, but can they extend it?
They could extend it into the Gallowgate.
Has that been discussed in one of your secret meetings?
I think it was like the first.
Secret.
Was it the first one?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Have you got a secret handshake when you go in the door?
We even talked about it on this podcast.
I don't think we've ever mentioned if you were able to extend the safe standing.
We talked about it.
Have you got a secret handshake when you go in?
No, that's the Copper.
That's the Copper.
That mine's not secret.
No, because they definitely talked about the Gallowgate as one of the areas that they would look to do it. I think if you're going to go on to that biggest scale, then there's going to be a lot more people that would be affected that potentially don't want to stand.
I think quite a few did anyway. I think quite a few moved from the corner.
Yeah,
this summer.
Mostly in our area, pretty much stayed the same. I think.
Most of us as
like
well.
behind us.
I don't really look behind us. I don't really like them. I just want to see what they look like. I can hear them.
I don't like the ones that sit next to us.
Sorry if you're watching.
The one to the left's the right knob.
Is he still there, that guy?
With me?
It's him.
Oh, to your left. Is it your left? Is it your left? Maybe your left.
Yeah, he's still there.
Is he?
So, no, but I'm the same. I think it's been brilliant. Like we talked about, was it last week, the week before? Like in the Liverpool game when things potentially weren't going great, it just encouraged everybody to really get behind and keep the atmosphere going when sometimes it can go flat. And
work against Liverpool. Like.
So
anyway.
I was wondering, but in the game when people just kind of cascade down the steps, when they like step over, it probably stopped that. That'd be a bit of a shame.
It does, yeah, because obviously you've got to funnel down the stairs now. You can't take the shortcut over the stairs. Over the seats even.
Over the stairs, yeah.
So, but no, I think Liam, to answer your question, we're all loving it so far. Adam has sent us a donation of £4.99.
Thanks,
so
Adam.
thank you for that, Adam.
Cheers,
very,
Adam.
very
Adam Wallace.
nicely done. No, Adam Marsden,
All right.
relative of The Rock. Not the wrestler.
I was going to say, I'm trying to think how. I couldn't think of his name for a second there.
Well.
I still can't think of it.
Very topical one from Adam, and it is something that we're going to have a little chat about tonight. So no doubt people will have seen on social media over the last couple of days that we have had international football back at St. James's Park.
Oh, of course. I have,
So
yes,
we did have Saudi Arabia playing, I was just in North Korea there, South Korea. It's at our ground on
I might win if it was North Korea.
Friday night, I think it was. if I
Costa
remember
Rica?
rightly.
It was Costa Rica.
Costa Rica?
Those two.
Is it South Korea this week?
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
South Korea
It was
tomorrow.
Costa Rica
Friday. That's right.
last week. Yeah.
So there's been a lot of comments. We'll have seen it on the likes of Twitter, TikTok. It's been all over. Not that I've watched it on
Have
there.
you got TikTok?
Far too old for that.
Have you got TikTok?
No.
You have, haven't you?
I haven't. Absolutely not.
I hope you have. I
I
can't
have
wait
not
to see if I
checked
can
my phone. I
find
haven't
you
got
lip
TikTok.
sync into something.
I definitely haven't got TikTok.
TikTok.
But we've seen
Yeah,
obviously lots
yeah,
and
yeah.
lots of comments around the protests. So we've had I think it's Newcastle fans against sports washing or something like that they're
Yeah.
called, and they've been also on the local news and also made some international national news maybe. And the question is, it's a pretty good one considering what we do, and we're doing it tonight as well. Is how much do Newcastle content creators have a duty to represent the whole fan base? So interesting, considering in the context of the question that it's around the Saudi protests and the ownership of the club, and how responsible are we as fans, for that, and what we can do.
I think you only have a duty to represent the whole fan base if you put yourself forward as being a voice piece,
Yeah.
a voice of the fan base, which I don't think. I know we certainly don't do that. I don't think any of the other podcasts that I'm aware of do that. I think it's.
I don't think anybody admitted at least.
Well, no, I mean, I agree with the protest. To be honest with you, I think that's spot on. Like, but watching the videos, and I'm not going to. There's been a bit of a pile-on with that one young lad, so I'm not going to kind of contribute. I'm not going to contribute to that. But he doesn't portray himself in a very good light, does he? Shall we say? But I think that I think it's right that people are protesting. It's a funny thing with the ownership of the club, and it's never going to go away. Wait, it might do. It's not going to go away as long as they run the club. Where, like, it's people are saying it's a sports washing project, and I think you've got to say it is. But then I wouldn't have been nearly as aware of the bad stuff that's been going on in Saudi Arabia had it not been for the ownership of the club. It's kind of shone a light on. I hadn't heard of Jamal Khashoggi, or the kind of there was one about migrants getting killed about a month ago, 80 odd, and I wouldn't have had a clue about that had it not been for the ownership of the club. So in that regard, it feels like it's kind of backfired a little bit. Like the protest, the best thing that could have happened to the Newcastle fans against sports washing is for them lads to go on and make a tit themselves about it, because otherwise, as I understand it, it wasn't a particularly well attended protest. So it's been the backlash against it, not against that, but against the behaviour of people that's kind of got people talking about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a very important conversation to have. I don't think it's a lot of what happens. The Amazon documentary, it all felt a little bit kind of puff piecey, and there was a bit at the start when Amanda Stavely says it's definitely not sports washing. But we've answered that question.
Yeah, we've addressed that.
That's we'll put that to bed now then. And it all feels a bit too easy for me. Like I'm not saying I want them out. I'm not. But I think it's important that we know who they are.
I think it's content creators. Exactly what Bestie said there. That we're not stood on the soapbox here and shouting from the rooftops. Oh, we're the best fans. Like we do this. Our opinion's more valid than what yours is. I think we've seen the Newcastle fans. What's the protest group called? Newcastle fans against.
Was it not sports against sports?
Against
I think
sports.
it was.
So we've seen them a couple of times over the last year and a half.
They're there pretty much every game.
Well, they've been opposite. They're normally opposite Shearers, and there's normally only about 3 or 4 of them. And to be honest with you, there's no aggro, there's no hassle or anything like that. People just get on with the day, go to the match, and things like that. It just seems like over the weekend it's taken that turn where you're seeing the videos where people have. It seems like they've purposely gone out the way to cause a bit of crap with them, and I don't get it because they're allowed to have their opinion. They're allowed to protest. It's a free country. Everybody's allowed to do it. And I don't see why we're sticking cameras in the faces.
Is it not because the type of fans that would attend the Saudi Arabia friendly St James's Park are the type that are going to be more apologist? Is that the right word?
What was the attendance? I don't even know. I completely forgot.
It was only these stand open.
The club I've seen someone say that it was announced or whatever has been 20,000, but apparently it was closer to 5. but most of whom apparently weren't locals, so it might be people from Saudi Arabia coming over, have a look in Newcastle and whatever.
Yeah.
But
a lot of the imagery you saw was of people that you can only imagine are of Saudi descent.
So people who are more likely to be affronted by a Newcastle fans against sports washing campaign than people who are going to see it and think, oh, hang on a sec, this isn't right. And again, local lads who are going Newcastle-based, South Tyneside, whatever, Tyneside-based kids, people going to that game, I had no interest in going to the game whatsoever. If it was £3, £5, I don't want to go and see Saudi Arabia play.
I wouldn't have when it was free.
I know I wouldn't have. But then the people who are happy to go, I'm going to go watch Saudi Arabia play at Newcastle, are probably the kind of person that are going to have a bit more of a kind of chip on their shoulder about the whole thing. Pro Saudi rather than sorry.
I think for me, it probably just comes down to potentially a lack of education on the issues. That just see that Saudi Arabia, PIF have taken over the club. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
We want to thank them for that, and we'll go along. And they're not fully aware of the atrocities that do happen. No, because when you see a lot of the 100% the actual Saudi nationals that were talking, and you've seen them and stuff like that, but there was just a lot of young kids, 10, 11, 12, 13-year-olds that probably don't have that knowledge. I mean, they wouldn't be going around. I'm saying this, but you saw grown men.
I think they've got the knowledge. I just don't think they give a shit.
Bit of both, I think. I think it's a bit of both. I'm not an expert on it by any stretch of imagination. I've kind of seen enough to make my mind up on what I think, but I might not. I'm not saying I'm right. But yeah, I think it's probably a bit of both. Where some people are just belligerent and who don't care much about what they've been told or why you should be cautious. And I think there is a part as well where it's young kids who just want to go to Newcastle and watch football matches.
Yeah. That's what I don't get.
But don't get involved in.
But there again, we say that. Why aren't they? If that's the case, if they want to go and watch football, are they not going to watch the women's team or the under 21s when they play? Or
I think that this is. I've heard this a couple of times, and I've never really got involved in the conversation. But people saying that it's an opportunity to go into St. James's Park and take the kids to St. James's Park, but it's different, isn't it? Why would you want to go to St. James's Park to watch Saudi play?
It's a weird one. I mean,
don't get it.
I did go during the the Olympics in 2012, but that's a different thing
it's
again.
An opportunity
that's a different thing. It was still nice to watch. That wasn't watching international football at St. James's Park was a thing. Brazil and New Zealand.
Exactly.
Oh no, I'm not saying I'm not saying that. Yes, they've definitely gone to watch, but you can go to Newcastle, you can go to St. James's Park and watch a game and not have a horse in the race, as it were, at the game.
No.
But I've got, as I say, I can't imagine a scenario in which, in any point in my life, in which I'd have thought, oh, can't wait to go watch Saudi Arabia St. James's Park, unless they'll play in England.
Yeah,
even then,
or Brazil.
No, it's not even that. It's an any elite national team. That would probably tempt you. But the fact it was like, let's be honest.
Yeah,
let's not be about the bush. Even if Saudi had nothing to do with Newcastle, let's say absolutely nothing, people wouldn't go and watch that.
No, the state don't, do they?
Joel Hosdecker?
No, but a bit of all. I think for me, what Bessie mentioned about lack of maybe education or wanting to know or maybe understanding it, I'm very in that fence that maybe I haven't done anywhere near as much that I possibly should. I'm well aware of the issues, right? I know that. I am a great believer, though, and I've said this for a while, that you can't change someone or change something by just cancelling it and just blocking it out. Can't change it, like, if that's the case. Whereas what Bestie mentioned about them sort of buying us is then inadvertently made you more aware, right?
Yeah, it's
all the stuff that's going on constantly, right? I think what I didn't like at the weekend was what I'd seen in the videos. It was the lack of respect from our side. That's what pissed us off massively, because I'm thinking you've got some young kid here who's clearly having a right go at this old fella, bless him. Like, he's well within his rights to...
Who I must say had a very valid and very thought out argument, and when he was being asked questions back, was able to answer them and completely agree with what was being said. But I certainly felt that everybody else on the opposite side wasn't listening to what he was.
They couldn't give him
the opposite
what he was saying.
I think that's been since day one. I think that's kind of been, there's been a split in the support of sorts. It's been shades of grey and all that, but there's definitely been a kind of level of people who kind of just don't care, again, like, are quite belligerent about it and say, I don't care what's going on in South. I love them. I'm going to wear the flag around my shoulders and I don't know what I'm going to put the flag.
I'm going to put the flag on me Twitter.
There's a bit on the documentary. I think it might be the first episode where they show you the walk up past the Bobby Robson statue, and makes me cringe every single time
Saudi mags.
that I've seen it. You know, it's not for me personally, but yeah, you know, and I say just go back to the footage that I've seen, and this is what annoys is that, like, you know, because of the instance of what the clip was, it goes everywhere so fast. You know what I mean? And it was just so disrespectful.
Yeah,
and that's what I don't want us to be seen as being ignorant and disrespectful, like he was. And that, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Actually.
It was dreadful. Like, it was really, really away from everything.
Honest, I didn't even watch it. I watched about 4 seconds of it and I went, I can see where this is going.
I
Let's turn it off.
Yeah, away from everything else and the rights and wrongs, his behaviour was awful.
It was.
It really was terrible, that guy.
I think Jules has hit the nail on the head completely here. She says we need to open a healthy discussion to encourage change, and without that, I think as negative as the videos have been, and you know, there's lots of comments about, you know, putting Newcastle fans in a bad light, which, you know, I think it definitely has, but it's encouraging that discussion, and if it does then make the young lads that did, you know, feature in this video stop, look back, and maybe do a little bit of thinking around, you know, what is going out there and educate themselves a little bit more on it, then you can only be thankful for that.
Which I did see was it somebody was saying, like, why don't you just protest at this event, at that event? But the name of this protest group was Newcastle United fans against sports washing. So obviously they're going to head towards Newcastle aspect of it.
Was when you protest
Parliament,
Formula
One,
One,
though, isn't it? Listen, I've done it as well myself, where it's very much as soon as it's us getting targeted, it's like,
you defend your own, don't you?
WWE's got it, and Formula One's got it, and stuff like that. You know what I mean, there's probably no doubt about it, outside of a Formula One race, they'll be there as well.
Oh yeah,
so there will be. It's just, this is our circle, and this is what, do you know what I mean? It's not against us all the time. I felt like at times thinking, God, mate, it's us again here, getting in the neck.
It feels like it's magnified, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think, but again, football it's huge, right? It is.
I've seen when the Qataris were interested in buying Man U, I saw Man U fans saying, well, why are we getting all this scrutiny? What happened about Man City and Newcastle?
Nobody was bothered about Newcastle.
And we to us, it felt like we got it more than Man City. Man City will say that they are feeling it more than anyone else. It's because it's on you. It's on your something you love, and you know, in Newcastle, like so. I think it does. It feels like you're kind of being not unfairly scrutinised, but it feels like this is a little bit disproportionate.
And again, going back to that video and that, you know, the clip, and this has happened again and again, and probably is just be careful of how it makes us look. Do you know what I mean? As a fan base, for me, like, if you're going to engage in conversation with that, that's fine, no problem. But don't be disrespectful, because you're the one that looks the dick, right?
It's when he starts doing that.
I know, it's just awful. I know he's young, like, I suppose.
Like I said, we've seen it a couple of times at Newcastle home fixtures. I can't get why it hasn't happened there. But then when there's a Saudi national thing, then Newcastle fans are then defending that happening. I don't get it.
For me, it's 100%, maybe not 100%, but a large proportion of the people that would have been there featuring in those videos will not be at St James Park on a normal match day.
We'll just walk past them normally. They just crack on. You walk past them and they're there. They're not even shouting or anything. They're not even promoting what they're protesting about. They just stood there with a banner and a couple of flyers, which they're trying to hand out to people, and that's it. I would like to see what they've done differently this time, because I don't think they would have done anything differently.
I honestly think it is just because the fans that have been going to the game on Friday, because they are going to see specifically to see Saudi Arabia play, that maybe it's going to be a bit more sympathetic.
Do you think also because there was a lesser volume of people there around,
maybe
that they've just been able to, I don't know, because it's so busy normally, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because it's less numbers, they've just managed to, I don't know, feel more confident to be more vocal. I don't know.
Be a bit emboldened, like.
I don't know.
It just seems to me like
it was strange though, because I thought to your point there, sorry, is this the first time there's ever been here before then? Because I've never heard this happen before.
Yeah.
And
they were there last
normally
season
no aggro.
well.
Oh, really? God,
There's been no aggro.
I've never seen them personally.
They normally, do you know where the burger van is? Near the berry. So you've got the berry. If you look at the berry, you've got the berry, then you've got the burger van. Well, you've got the cut where it takes you down to the Sky building. Yeah. Then you've got the burger van. They're normally in between the burger van, then the bit where it comes out where the billboards are. They normally just position themselves there.
Pretty much next to the food
bank. Next to the food bank, I was just going to say there.
Just along from the food bank. I don't get it. It just seems like there were certain individuals that went looking for an argument.
100%. That is it for me, is that some of those people have just seen an opportunity of, I can go on, I'm going to get myself on YouTube, on TikTok, and I'll look great for all of me mates.
TikTok again, yeah, right, yes,
I think all the kids are on there.
I do think Mark's nailed it there, like, to be fair.
So get some clout.
Absolutely right.
But yes, I think it's, as Jules said, it's good to have the discussion, but we're more interested right now, looking ahead. But let's put that behind us. We all know the issues with it. 8 days' time,
All right, Amanda.
we're going to be in Milan. So we've got a question from Joe. So Joseph wants to know, and Decca, we'll come to you first. Says, hi lads, hope you're okay. How do you think we're going to do in the Champions League games?
I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be all right. I know we've been negative. I've been negative over the last performance. I think it was maybe I've
definitely been negative tonight.
We're dreadful, but I think my new though Milan have started very well this season. I don't know. I think away from home, and I appreciate obviously people are going to say at home we're going to be this and that. I still think away from home, the opposition is going to have to come out. Plus, we're playing big teams as well. They're going to be on the front foot, and I actually think we might be able to cause some trouble. It's still going to be massively challenging, though. Of course, it is. Do you know what I mean? And I worry about. I tell you what, my biggest worry is, right. Champions League wise, I think we'll put absolutely in that 90 minutes, absolutely everything we have possibly got into them games. It's the next league game. Where I think, goodness me, the hangover, the adrenaline dump, whatever it might be, that might be the game that suffers. But in the moment of the Champions League game, we might see an unbelievable performance or result, maybe. It's just and I know that wasn't the question, but so I think we'll do all right. I think we'll not embarrass ourselves by any stretch. I don't think it's going to be a case of we'll get lose 3-0 at Milan and we'll get pumped off PSG. I really don't think that'll be the case at all. And I really hope that is the case. We're all right.
Bestie, how are you feeling?
I am. I've not actually talked about the Champions League. I was obviously not being here last week. I'm absolutely buzzing with the group. I think I said beforehand I wanted Madrid, Munich, and Milan. So I'm not that far off getting what I was hoping for, to be honest with you. That's a great group. I was surprised after
Quite way off, like.
Not really.
But 1 out of 3, right?
Well, no, but like
I got 2 out of
big
3
German
first.
team.
Oh, okay.
Milan, who did I say? Madrid, who did I get instead of them? Who got? Oh, PSG.
Paris Saint-Germain, probably.
Yeah, that was our first week. I'm not that bothered with PSG, really, to be honest with you.
We've missed them a year too late. It would have been amazing to see Messi and Neymar come here. That would have been amazing.
But then I think, well, I've still got Mbappe, like, but I think we have got a better chance of beating them. Certainly, Neymar's a phenomenal player. I saw him play for Brazil in 2012 during the Olympics.
Did you go?
New Zealand.
In Brazilian?
I might have seen Chris Wood play that day as well, as it happens. I have to go back and check the teams out.
Was it Neymar that you thought played for Newcastle? Or was that
No,
Aubameyang?
it was Aubameyang.
Oh, because he played that game at Heaton Stand?
No, I didn't know he came in. I thought I came and trained with the under 21s or something like that.
No, he played a game.
It was a World Cup qualifier, wasn't it?
No, it was a World Cup qualifier. Why would Aubameyang be playing a World Cup qualifier in St James's Park?
It wasn't.
Which European teams are you playing for?
He's got everything.
Did you not play Stanley or something stupid like that?
No, he played for. He played a friendly at Heaton Stand at Groundsel. Aye, and then he played at St James's, but I forget who against now. But I reading after the draw a few
Olympics. That's what I meant, not World Cup qualifiers.
That was Olympics.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. I'm reading a few people saying that, and this is like actually one of them was a Sunderland supporter who writes for the Guardian. Jonathan Wilson, saying he thinks Newcastle we'll get through that group, no bother. And I thought, really? But then you look at the kind of Bellingham's gone from Dortmund, Messi and Neymar have left PSG, Tonali's left Milan. So that they're not.
Well, Loftus-Cheek's starting for Milan. So
I like Loftus-Cheek as well.
As well,
but he was.
But it's not.
Pulled him, wasn't he, last time?
Yeah, it's not exactly a name. I mean, the top of the league at the minute. Like, to be fair, I think beat Roma at the weekend, who are struggling. But
Roma struggling, are they?
What, sorry?
Roma struggling, are they?
Bottom 3, they are.
I don't know that. That's early doors.
It's early doors, isn't it?
But I think with I'm not saying we've got a great chance of winning. We're not going to bring it all home and all that. But I like Decca says, I don't think we'll be making fools of ourselves.
No.
I think we're a better team. Do I think we're a better team now than last time we're in the Champions League? Because we're Inter beat 4-1 at St James's.
We had a very dodgy Champions League. Like the first lot of games were pretty much scraped through. I mean,
we're the only team, weren't we? We were the only team
by
to
the skin of
qualify.
our teeth against Feyenoord.
Well, that was we were the first team to lose all 3 group games and still go through, weren't we? Feyenoord, Juventus,
was still
and
not
Kiev
the
in
only
that group.
team that's ever done that.
I don't know.
I don't know now.
20 years ago.
We've been
now,
out for so long, it's not a stat I've been staying close to.
But then obviously
It's a canny stat, though, isn't it?
It was like a second group stage, wasn't it? Last time, so Barca, Inter, and was it PSV?
Barca, Inter, and
I think it was PSV.
I think it was
PSV.
actually,
Maybe obviously
no,
it wasn't
was it
Feyenoord.
PSV?
I'm sure I've got a program in the house which is PSV in this
We played
Champions League season.
we played PSV in '97. Because it was PSV, Barca,
I
and
bloody went
Kiev
to
in
the
that group.
games. Juventus.
No,
No.
yeah, Juventus was
that
the first
was
group
the
stage. That
first
was
group, wasn't
Juve,
it?
Kiev, and
Somebody in the comments will be down.
Feyenoord. I'm sure.
Leverkusen.
Leverkusen, yeah, we'll pump them.
Oh, of
Shearer
course.
got a hat-trick.
Shearer got a hat-trick. I was
Yeah,
at
aye.
that one. Aye, yeah. Aye.
I've stood outside the Bay Arena and it's got all the teams playing Newcastle United and massive letters up. So aye.
And then I remember when he scored that. I remember. I think when we met Mark, I don't see him now. And then he cried at that game. I was just saying how much I loved Shearer. You know, he's not. I do.
Wanted to most
Just
of it
unreal,
without
man.
Shearer and Bellamy because they both got suspended.
Yeah,
Like
Bellamy got,
Luar and Amiobi were up front
Yeah.
for the majority of the game.
Bellamy got sent off against Inter, didn't he?
Hey, with them two
Cracked
ripped
up Materazzi.
Leverkusen apart away from home, didn't they? Luala
Did he
and
dig him?
Amiobi.
I can't remember. I
Did
think
he
it was
punch him
sorry?
when he was on the deck?
possibly.
Bellamy.
Bellamy did, yeah.
Was Marco Materazzi? Was it the boxers?
No, he kicked him, didn't he?
Was it a kick?
It was a red card. It was a straight red.
Shearer
Done
elbowed
Cannavaro.
Yeah, that was a vicious elbow.
Cannavaro,
That.
wasn't it? He done Cannavaro and
The Cannavaro, was it? That Shearer?
I am definitely
Yeah,
I
Juventus.
100%. Aye, he absolutely swung at him.
Aye.
And then the Bellamy one he kicked.
Did he kick him?
Marco Materazzi.
He kicked him. He's like he kind of walked away and he just hoofed him.
I've got another incident. Bellamy just punching somebody.
He did. He punched him in the
Like a
in the
little
stomach.
uppercut, wasn't it?
Yeah. Sly little dig.
All right. Aye, but I think we'll
He was a bit of a knob, really, Bellamy.
Bellamy
He
He
was,
was mint.
A bit.
he was good, though.
mint.
if we finish third in the group, do we
Yes.
go through the
Yes.
Europa League? Is that still the case? Because obviously next season it changes, doesn't it?
Would you be happy with that? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
would as
think
well,
if we
actually.
go into the Europa League, there's a fair chance we'll win it.
Because I'm seeing, well, yeah, I'm seeing some people I was talking to saying, oh, like, you know, we'll enjoy the Champions League experience, but if it has to end, that's end, and then just concentrate on league form. Like, just forget about it. You've been wonderful,
Yeah.
thanks. Whereas the Europa League, you've kind of still got this midweek game, Thursday, Sunday thing going on.
But it's what it's about, though. What you want to be.
I wouldn't mind it at all.
I think the team that's probably like shot the pants when Newcastle's name got drawn out there of pot 4 is probably Dortmund.
Yeah.
Because Dortmund probably been looking at it thinking, third, yeah.
Well, they're struggling as well.
Yeah,
Their
so probably
season's
thinking
been poor so
third
far,
and
so-
we'll drop in Europe. But I think as soon as Newcastle's came in, they probably shit the pants and thought, oh, this is going to be harder.
But there's no one. I mean, it's a particularly. It was always going to be a hard group because we were in pot 4.
Mm.
It's certainly as tough a group as we probably could have realistically got.
Oh, hi.
But at the same time, like PSG, Dortmund, and Milan won't have wanted Newcastle.
No, of course.
They'd have been looking at like Antwerp or someone like that. Or not to be disrespectful.
PSG don't frighten me, like. Not like when you consider the players that have left them now.
It's a funny one because they've got
They play in a Farmers League.
I can't wait for this.
the Farmers League that will both Bruno Guimaraes
Be on
from.
TikTok.
Aye, but that's the.
Listen,
You've got one player in a team like that.
I know, but you know, you
But
watch
they-
it.
do
You
you
watch
not
it
think
against
they
Brighton,
look-
man. Them probably watch our game against Brighton going.
Yeah,
"We're
do
not
they
really
not
good
think
yet."
they look at us, obviously
You know what
not
I mean?
knowing that our players and thinking, they've only got that one player to be worried about.
Exactly.
Sandro.
I don't think that's the thing I was thinking earlier
They'll
on.
be playing.
I was thinking, I wonder if they'll be as clued up on us. They will be. They'll have their scouts looking at us. They'll
course will,
have
yeah.
been doing that homework. This isn't
I
like
don't think at first they would have, you know. Like I think, you know, when we're qualified and all the rest of it, I don't think anyone would have really. Well, not their scouts and that would, but I don't think many of their players will necessarily be going, oh, they're pulling up sticks. I don't think so. I really don't. Half the players really even watch football, to be honest.
No,
Some of the-
I
some
might
of
be
the Arsenal
guilty of
lads don't even watch.
They'll be
Turn it
well
on.
by the
But
time
not by the time it comes around, they'll know inside out.
they'll be well drilled.
what
It's not
we're
you
doing.
you very rarely, especially in the Champions League, you're not going to catch people by surprise now.
No. Well, it's to say you talk about their teams. Like, I couldn't name you Dortmund starting 11. I couldn't personally, right? In the Paris Saint-Germain, we'll keep going about, oh, they've got no Messi and Neymar anymore, but there were no great shakes with them either, because that's 3 strikers that wouldn't track back, doesn't help you. So them will be a totally different outfit, and I'm not saying for worse either. I had individual talent, but it didn't work as a team. You know what I mean? But it's going to be tough in it no matter what. But
Yeah.
I still think we'll do ourselves really proud in them games. I really do.
It's mint group to be in, though, isn't it?
Of course, it is.
Oh,
These
God,
players, it's half of these. Not, well, I probably more than half. It'll be their first taste of Champions League football as well.
Loads of them.
You know,
I said this when we done the live reaction to the draw, though. That 50 quid a ticket doesn't seem too bad now. So
I
we've
wouldn't
got
pay
those
that,
3
yeah,
teams.
aye.
It's
Yeah.
mint. Like, I was going wild. I was, they've taken 100 not this out of my account, blah, 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 blah. We don't even know who we're going to get yet. And it's all right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been
but
seeing the
this
same
is
out
what,
of someone
like,
hungry. Like,
when like Bruno signed for Newcastle, or when Trippier signed, or when Sandro, they want to be playing game. They don't want to be playing against like Europa League standard. They want to be playing right. The best teams from the best leagues. They'll be absolutely rubbing their hands with Joe Linton. They'll be absolutely delighted with who we've got here. Like
he'll
I
get
just-
sent off him. He'll be smashing everyone.
Yeah. in his car, probably.
Probably.
Don't know if his band's up. But no, I'm looking forward to it. I think the really important part is the home games. If we can, put a good account of ourselves at home, on the day we can beat anybody at home. The crowd are going to be well up for it. Noise, the atmosphere will be electric.
Proper midweek
They
games.
won't want to come to our place.
I think we'll strangle teams at home.
And
I
Mbappe's
really
going to
do.
be scared of the cold, as
Oh, Rob,
Scott's told us.
that was on that
comments.
Football Manager video, wasn't it?
Griezmann, wasn't it?
On the plane.
Aye,
So,
yeah.
but yeah, it'll be amazing.
But
This
I
time next week,
I could imagine.
we'll be doing our Champions League Eve game.
Thing is, I was going to say there, like when they come out at St James's Park on the first home game, they're all Wednesdays, the home games, aren't they? All the away games are Tuesdays, no home games are Wednesdays.
Well, for us.
Yeah. But like, I'm thinking when they walk out and they see it's gonna be class.
Well, War Flags have got, like, just to bring this up as well, War Flags have a massive campaign for donations as well. haven't they?
Yeah, they have. I.
So they're going to have something up the sleeve as well. That's going to be fantastic. That, like, might be sheer elbowing somebody.
It'll be quality. But time is upon us, gentlemen.
Chris,
It has absolutely flown by, as it always does.
I
So
finished like
thank you for staying with us tonight.
That first 20 minutes didn't fly by.
We had some random classic Always Smiling Faces podcast, though. The people enjoy it.
Irreverent.
Yes, they loved it. But
The Reverend, I haven't seen him
The
for a while.
Reverend. No, I haven't actually.
Where is
No,
the
Reverend.
Reverend Alex?
I don't know.
Bless him.
It was all right.
But somebody that has been with us for a very long time, a very special lady, is Jules. So, Jules, it is her birthday this coming weekend, and she's going to be joining us here in God's country in the northeast of England. So, happy birthday, Jules, from all of the lads.
Happy
Jules,
returns,
all the best.
Jules. Yeah.
So, hope you have a great weekend visiting for the match. But before everybody dives off, Jules will be telling you in the comments to make sure you smash the like button, give us that thumbs up. If you can and you don't already do it, hit the subscribe button as well. You'll get notifications if you hit the bell button. And every time we go live and Bestie talks a load of nonsense, you'll be well aware of it. Normally, it'll be the one in the hat that sits here doing all of this talking, and we'll do this bit. So, Chris, what about the membership?
Yeah, it is $2.99 a month to become a member. You get early access to videos, you get extra videos, and you get access to the Telegram group and the Discord channel as well.
all the Gallowgate shots
To do that
network.
as well. Also, as well, the
Coverage.
fish video has got 40,000 views.
Oh, God, did you have to
Jesus,
bring
So
that up again?
we are a Newcastle United podcast, and our most viewed video is us trying to eat some fish.
That just goes to show how mental the world is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that Bestie shithoused his way out of.
I
Yeah.
did well.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of the comments
Unlucky punk.
it made us do a little chuckle today. It said, "You big boys, no, how did you big boys manage to get in the tattoo studio when you can't eat this fish?"
Honestly, I'll have my eyeballs tattooed rather than sniff that fish again. It was the worst thing I've ever witnessed in my life. That.
It was awful. Aye,
Yeah, we've got a couple of things coming up as well. Obviously, if people didn't know, we already have a Fantasy Premier League show which goes out. We have just brought on board Dan and Aaron as well, who are going to be doing a Champions League fantasy show as well, which they already do.
Oh, we did one last week as well, didn't it?
They did. So they had already done this, but they joined us for this season, just with Newcastle being obviously a huge part of the upcoming campaign as well. So they will be recording a show tomorrow night as well. So we'll get that out some point during the week. And what else do we have?
Match preview
Match preview we'll have coming. Obviously, match reaction.
for Brentford on Saturday.
Canny chatter. We've got loads going on at the minute, haven't we?
so much. I can't even remember. Well, that
Yeah.
much.
Loads.
Before we go, then predictions for Saturday. Just a score.
Going to win 2-0.
I'm worried about this one, you know.
I'm worried as well, actually.
I'm going to say 2-1 to us, but I think they've got goals in them, Brentford. Like,
Yeah, I'm worried. I'm
they're scoring
I'm-
more without Tony.
I'm really worried if we concede first, just for the atmosphere.
That's
and
what
again,
I'm
I don't want to end this on a negative. I think 2-1. I'm going for 2-1, but I'm just worried of how it'll go if we go down in terms of the vibing.
I'm praying we get a result. Like, and by result, I mean all 3
Yeah,
points.
well,
I'm praying.
Pumping was it 5-0 last season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely hammered them. But it's
You know,
just,
what it is, we can do that to teams. We can. We know we can.
So, the Villa game, they're capable of winning.
exactly.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think this fixture, it's what I think you said this last season, Bestie. It all depends on what the next result is. If you've had a bad start or a
Yeah.
good start of the season, I think this is basically a great explanation of this. If we lose against Brentford, then you're looking at the start of the season thinking that's been bad.
yeah.
But if we get 3 points, you're thinking that's a all right start.
It's probably par, isn't it, with the win? Like, then
Okay.
obviously Milan coming up on Tuesday.
That's what I shouldn't do that, but yeah, I look at that and I think that you roll on from Brentford, you got Milan, which could go. You never know, and then all of a sudden you're back. I don't know.
That we're having
I
this
don't wanna
conversation.
look-
thinking exactly that when I first started doing this for you like 5 years ago, I would never have said that. I would be sitting talking about being AC Milan like as equals.
The only time I thought I'd get them is a preseason friendly.
I'm pulling up with Steve Harper's testimonial 10 years ago tonight
Oh, was it
against Milan.
Aye. Bless him, he's been through it now.
Yeah, he has. Aye,
Looks like he's on the mend, didn't he?
That's good.
they
Yeah.
said he was conscious and like not in trouble when he was
Yeah.
last time I heard. Like, but No, I get
But,
Wilson.
well, I think we all think we're going to win. Well, Chris
Yeah.
is more on the fence.
Well, no, I think we'll get a
Yeah,
result.
yeah.
It's more of I'm more anxious to
Aye.
what the outcome may be if we don't get the result
Yes, I
from
agree,
the
yeah.
We're
fan
looking for the
backlash.
reaction that we looked for last week that didn't come.
Yeah.
They are a good side, them though. Thomas Frank's doing a good job with them, and like I say, with Tony being out, I thought, but they're scoring goals. They're a really good
we
team. These
don't
like,
look as solid at the back. Let's be fair.
Hates
Well,
us
don't
as well,
even
doesn't he,
know.
Frank? Absolutely hates us.
I just know.
it seems too hard, right? Aye.
We'll be right. We'll be right.
Yeah.
Good game.
So, yes, look forward to that on Saturday. We'll be back on Monday, as ever, for our Champions League Eve podcast.
Mint.
Have a good night, have a good day, have a good afternoon, wherever you are, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.